What happens when pressure turns into provocation? Donald Trump's return to the White House has revived one of his most controversial foreign policies, the maximum pressure campaign against Iran. But could this move, designed to show strength, actually expose the weaknesses in Trump's mega dream? From military threats to oil sanctions, the ripple effects of his strategy could shake global markets, alienate key allies, and inflame an already volatile West Asia. Let's unpack how Trump's high stakes gamble could end up costing more than it gains. In February 2025, the US Treasury officially announced a return of maximum pressure, a sweeping set of economic sanctions targeting Iran's oil sector. The objective to dry up the funds Iran allegedly uses for its nuclear weapons and regional military operations. The crackdown is intense. A network of international shipping tankers has been sanctioned for transporting Iranian oil, especially to China. The Department of State and the Treasury's OFAC have sanctioned 22 individuals and blocked 13 vessels linked to Iran's oil industry. In March, Iran's petroleum minister Mohsen Paknejad was personally sanctioned, accused of helping funnel billions into military and destabilizing operations. The US also went after Iran's so called shadow fleet, tankers that disguise their cargo and destinations to bypass sanctions. By April, President Trump raised the stakes even higher, threatening secondary tariffs on countries buying oil from Iran and Russia, putting pressure on major buyers like China and India. And the sanctions go beyond oil. The US also blacklisted 6 entities and 2 individuals connected to Iran's UAV and ballistic missile procurement networks spanning Iran, the UAE, and China. The impact on Iran's economy is severe. As of March 2025, inflation soared to 37.1%, and the Iranian rial crashed to a record low of 1 million to the US dollar. While the GDP growth rate stands at 3.1%, it still lags behind the regional average of 3.9%. These economic pressures are increasing the risk of domestic unrest, especially with widening rifts between Iran's ultra hardliners, reformists, and elites. The social fabric is fraying, and the potential for public protests and political instability is rising. Iran hasn't taken Trump's threats lightly. On March 30th, Trump ominously stated there will be a bombing if Iran refuses a new nuclear deal. Tehran's response? Equally aggressive. Iran has explicitly warned of retaliation if its nuclear facilities are targeted. Possible responses include attacks on US military bases in the region, disruption of international shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global oil choke point, direct strikes on Israel. Meanwhile, Iran is rebuilding its long range ballistic missile facilities, especially after recent Israeli airstrikes. In a bid to strengthen internal control, the Syrian interim president, aligned with Iran, has appointed loyalists to key cabinet posts while bringing in minorities and technocrats into lesser ministries to project inclusivity and maintain order. Trump, in a direct letter to Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei, demanded Iran halt its missile program and stop backing regional proxies, a proposal Iran publicly rejected. The European powers, UK, France, Germany, or E3, have now given Iran a June 2025 deadline to reach a nuclear agreement or face renewed snapback sanctions. The consequences of Trump's strategy aren't limited to Iran. Oil prices. By squeezing Iranian oil and adding pressure on Russian crude buyers, the global oil market is extremely volatile. If China or India buckle under US pressure, we could see energy disruptions and skyrocketing prices. Risk of war. With Iran defiant and Trump doubling down, the possibility of military strikes looms large. Any such conflict could escalate regionally and pull in global players, leading to widespread instability. Humanitarian fallout. The people of Iran are bearing the brunt. Sanctions choke the economy and essential services, raising questions about the ethics of using economic tools to achieve geopolitical goals. The region is watching nervously. Iran's adversaries, especially Israel and Saudi Arabia, see its nuclear ambitions as existential threats, but even they worry about the fallout of a cornered, desperate Iran. The Gulf nations understand that a destabilized Iran could be more dangerous than an aggressive one. The region remains a tinderbox. One spark could light a fire with global repercussions. Caught in the crossfire is India. Iran is a key oil supplier and the site of India's strategic investment at the Chabahar port, a vital link to Central Asia. But Trump's sanctions force India to reduce Iranian oil imports and reconfigure its energy strategy at a cost. On the flip side, India cannot afford to alienate the US, a crucial partner for technology, defense, and balancing China in the Indo Pacific. India must walk a tightrope, preserve strategic autonomy while juggling energy needs, regional diplomacy, and its broader global aspirations. At the heart of this geopolitical drama lies one big question: will Trump's hardline approach deliver results or backfire spectacularly? Iran's options are narrowing. If it chooses escalation, the chances of it becoming a nuclear state rise, as does the risk of a devastating war. If it concedes, it risks security vulnerabilities without guaranteed benefits. In the end, diplomacy, not arm twisting, might be the only way to prevent Trump's pressure campaign from unraveling into chaos. Stay tuned for more updates.